Hello and welcome back to another round of Forgotten Hope 2. We are on Operation Hyacinth as the Italians, so we're basically screwed. No, yeah, nobody likes this one. Just switched off the lights in my flat. St. Lo next, okay. St. Lo will receive an overhaul soonish. Well, not soon actually, it depends on when we actually release the next thing, the next patch, but there will be an overhaul there. Here go the flares. You can hear the raiders arriving in their jeeps and such. Nope, actually hit somebody there, but I think he was already dead. Oh yeah, great, and I have high ping as well, that's super. Yeah, blow up the own objective and I'm gonna ban your ass. Okay, that was the driver. Let's reload this. Okay, yeah, okay. There's one behind the rock. Shit, I heard that, but I wasn't sure from where it came. Long range derp group, yep. That's what it stands for. Jeep doesn't spawn back even if destroyed, right? I think that's true. I mean, this map is so weird. I'm pretty sure that was changed though for the next patch as well. There will be some changes made to this, but at the end of the day I don't think this map will ever be salvaged. Even if we improved it a lot, people would still hate it, I think, because at this point it's just... yeah. I mean, at least it has kind of a unique scenario. I'm gonna give it that. And that in itself kind of makes it somewhat interesting, I guess. But yeah, it's just not very well made. I think generally speaking, making a map based on like raiding and surprise attacks in this game, it only slightly works because you just can't replicate that idea of surprise in a game where every round basically has the same setup. What? Oh, 1 second. What? Do I have to actually, fucking, write out the whole name? Why? Fuck it. Ah, I forgot that those are Brits. Their cars are weird. Let's capture this. Kill that guy. Yeah, steal that. Why not? I shot at the wrong seat because I thought it was a proper car, not a British one. I have a grenade left. I see that there's somebody spotted there, but... Well, something got hit, but... Jesus Christ, that's dark. Oh no, this even shows up on YouTube. But I mean, that's of course the point of a night map, is you make it kind of dark. Although usually you kind of do movie night, you know, how in a movie, usually when it's night, it's not really night, you know, there's lighting and so on to... So you can see what the fuck's going on. Ah, damn it. It's kind of the same in a night map in a game. You put a blue shader over everything. Maybe make it a little bit darker. This is actually the weird thing, because this map, years ago, it got reworked. It got reworked by Nutty, who always was this kind of guy of, oh, gameplay before realism, and make it like a modern... You know, he actually works for DICE, or maybe he doesn't anymore, but he worked for DICE for a while. It was all, oh yeah, you know, let's have player communication and all this stuff. Which sometimes he was right about some of the things, to be honest, but not always. But anyway, but he remade this map and he was completely adamant, nope, this is a night map, we have to make it dark. And you know, the other devs were like, I wasn't a dev back then, by the way, but the other devs were like, yeah, and the testers, you know, man, just put a blue shade over it, make it a bit bluish, but keep it brighter. But he was adamant, and it always struck me as weird. Did we... For a second I thought we captured that. Oh yeah, that will get him. Yeah, they blew up the truck. Okay. Man, is this dark. But yeah, Nutty was a weird guy. Really, really weird guy. In parts he was really right, but then he had these weird ideas that got deleted later then, but especially what I always found annoying was this, he wanted to put a sound effect when your tank is damaged, like a siren. And everybody's like, what the fuck, that's so stupid, how would that even work, you know, like, why would there be a siren going off when your tank is damaged, how does it know it's damaged, you know, the technology just wasn't there, probably still isn't. You know, you need some kind of computer who tells you that your tank is damaged, that's not how it fucking works in 1944. Those are New Zealander. Anyway, and I was like, you know, gameplay-wise, this makes sense, you know? Like, you want to give this feeling of urgency that is not just conveyed by the graphics of the stupid health bar, where it's like, maybe you don't even look at it, then suddenly you get blown up. Okay, fair enough. But, so my suggestion, back then, as I said, was a tester, my suggestion then was, let's put, like, sound effects in there of people, like, coughing, you know, like there's smoke in the tank. So it's like, maybe like groans, oh, they got hit by shrapnel inside the tank or some such, you know. Nope, had to be a siren. He was nobody for compromises, even though I still think that's kind of a cool idea. And yeah, then he put in the tank siren. Nobody liked it, and now it's deleted as far as I know. I mean, I never tanked, but... I'm kind of in a bad spot here. Would be good to get some of that light over there. Damn it. Well, he got killed. Okay. Ah, damn it. I wish I could see them properly. We need a flare over there. They're actually kind of stupid the way they're doing it, because attacking this last is actually the harder part. You know, it's actually making it harder. But yeah, I guess I could tell more weird stories from development, especially because nobody will watch this video because it's Operation Hyacinth. But yeah, there's some stuff I can talk about. What is not publicly known that I could talk about? One thing that many people might not be aware of is that, like, the Eastern Front that was released in 2.5, but in many ways, I mean, all the tanks and so on are the exception, but in terms of maps, there was actually a second Eastern Front in development before that, and that's when the FH2 team basically died back then. Like, FH2 was dead for a while, and then it got kind of revived. Mostly Kev 4000 was involved in that, and Stubfan, of course, and later, but... No, wait, was it after Kev? Sometimes I mix up Kev and Stubfan in my memories, because I only have the name and not a face, you know, so it's like, So it's like, well, they're both coders and people who put in stuff into the mod. So they kind of blur together. Anyway, so it was basically dead. And before that... I'm getting team killed. Before that, as I said, the Eastern Front was already in development in the first kind of version, and most of the stuff for that later got released in terms of the tanks and so on. They were made back then. The tanks that were released in 2.5... Oh shit. Ah, crap. They snuck past us. They did the commando thing. Most of the tanks obviously got released, but the maps, I think the only map from that part of development that got released, because I finished it actually, was Silo Heights, which was worked on by Schism RVTL, which was a dev from back then who also... He actually worked for some other game later. I don't remember exactly what happened there, but he's the guy who made Port and Basin and ported over the FH1 version of Silo Heights. So that's the one map that got saved. Oh, and Samatus, kind of, but Samatus got heavily changed and renamed because it used to be called Kurta Selka. And it used to have Stuks on them. That's why in the very first teaser for the Eastern Front that we put out, you could still see the old Kurta Selka version. If you look at that teaser that we did, I think, was it for Pegasus Bridge? It was just a short teaser, like we did with the French stuff at the end of the last trailer. But okay. Yeah, they blew up all of this, that's not good. And yeah, Kurta Selka, it had more tanks on it, but it was way too small for that. I mean, it's still a very small map, but it's not a map that needs tons of tanks, including Stuks. And yeah, so that was changed to Samatus. But yeah, Dukla Pass was made completely new. And what else was released? Arad was basically from the second development cycle. There wasn't there before. But there were several maps that were basically scrapped because, well, because basically the people working on them were not there anymore. Because, as I said, the team died. So what did we have? Two maps were never finished that were made by me. The first one was called Targo Frumos, which we did use a bit in testing, but it was never really... I think back then I was still a tester, and the map wasn't great. But that was also kind of a tank-heavy map set in August 1944? September 1944, something like that. And yeah, that was the first Eastern Front map that I made. I know that we tested some kind of balance stuff on there. And then I made... Fuck. And that one actually got relatively far, which was Kharkov Outskirts, a remake of that FH1 map, but it was never finished. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad about it. It had several problems. For one thing, the map, like Kharkov Outskirts itself, it's roughly based on the fourth battle of Kharkov in 1943, August 1943, but it was never like realistic in any way to that battle. It was just a generic map from FH1, back in FH1. Crap, I would like to know where they are now. Back in FH1 they made like, and this map I think was made by the great Armin Ace. And back then they basically made a map in like a weekend. And because that's how that worked. And that was one of those, and it was really generic. But considering how generic it was, and how it was not like interesting at all, it was extremely hard to properly map. For one thing, it had a whole, because, you know, Kharkov, there was a whole city part, but that was just the German main base. So making a city in FH2 is pretty tough work. You have to place lots of objects, obviously. Shit, I wish I had hit that. You have to place lots of objects and stuff to make it look good. And it was just the main base, so you would have to expend all that work on what is essentially a main base, which usually, you know, so there were problems like that associated with it. I think testers also didn't really like it. I did learn a lot on that map though. It had the Ferdinand on it. I released somewhat prematurely like marketing material based on it. I think there's still pictures out there. It has like a very cool sky, which was the coolest thing about it. And a big Lenin statue in a bombed out town. That was one of the things that was released as promotion for... Shit, I thought that was one of theirs. Sorry. That was released as promotion for the Eastern Front, and it was never released, obviously. Okay, there goes the last objective. No, wait. The second to last objective. So yeah. So that was one of the maps that never got finished. Then there was Crimea. Crimea was worked on by Fenring, who also made... what's it called? Oh, fuck. Who also made Operation Lüttich and Meuse River. And that was from the first go of development. Ugh, damn it, I hate fighting against good players. I also only want noobs who hold still and then get killed. Yeah. So, that one was a really big map. It even had like a slight naval aspect in terms of, so it had boats and stuff. Obviously based on the Crimea. I think 1943, I want to say. Fuck you. Like most of the Fenring maps, not very realistic or based on anything like... I mean, it was roughly based on that battle, of course, but... It was pretty cool, and it had really cool terrain. That's always the case with Fenring maps. He was really good at making cool terrain and stuff. And as I said, it had this pseudo-naval aspect with boats and so on, so that was kind of cool. That never got finished, obviously. Even though it got pretty far, and we tested that quite a bit. What else was there that was never done? Obviously Prokhorovka, everybody knows about that by Knopfhoff. Because there was a dev blog about it. Still not finished, maybe at some point it will. Was some other stuff. Blanking right now. There was Lvov. You know, the Polish offensive, not offensive, but in the offensive in Poland, August 1944, I think, or July 1944. Basically the same one that Oglidov is based on, roughly. That one was made also... Fenring also had a hand in that, and by some applicant, the name of which I forgot. I think that one never was made into a map that was playable on in the beta. Also pretty big, had planes on them and everything. It would have the Ferdinand on them, because that was actually one of the offensives after 1943 where the Ferdinand was used. Although I think at that point we would have to make the Elefant, And that was also that offensive, the unit that had the Ferdinand fought there, that also had the Porsche Tiger command tank and the T-34 with flak feeling and all kinds of weird shit, but that was never made, of course, and the map was never finished. So yeah, that was from the first kind of go at the Eastern Front. Never finished. Ah, crap. That was a bit laggy there. Well, we lost. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.